What is up, NFL fans? It's your boy Kevin Phillip Fox here with the Legit Football NFL podcast. I'm not coming at you alone. I'm with my usual suspects. That's right, I said suspects, as in plural. Let me introduce to you the man from down under, Mr. Adrian Revito from Australia himself. How are you, Adrian?
I am fantastic. I'm so good today, actually. And you know, I whinge a lot about the weather. It's so hot here in Australia. I'm feeling great.
Yeah, I made a comment in the pre-show. Adrian is giving us a little gun show over here. Why don't you give us a little
Is suns
taste?
out, guns out? Is that a thing in America? I can't do
Oh,
that. I couldn't ever.
100%. You're not.
Suns
He
out,
doesn't
guns
want
out
to.
is a thing, right?
He's not going to flex on the pod because he doesn't want to embarrass myself and our third co-host, the GOAT, NFL stats himself, Jimmy Ray. Jimmy Ray. He'll give us the gun show. Come on.
What's going on?
Jimmy, how are you, big guy?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to see Oscar's in the chat. We got to give some love to Oscar Nava, one of our OG supporters. Happy to see you. And anybody who wants to get involved in the chat, head to YouTube and please blow our comments up. If you want to talk smack to us, if you want to tell Adrian how hot you think he is, you're free to go. You're free to go.
Particularly the letter. The letter would be great.
He needs it.
Incredibly insecure. I need the validation.
No, guys. So a little bit of a different show for you today because we really have just the most bonkers Week 18 slate that I could have ever fathomed myself. And I don't really want to, there's a lot of shenanigans that we can always get to. And a lot of you are here for the shenanigans. And I apologize to the shenanigan lovers next time. Promise you with the Legit Football Pod, you will be getting shenanigans more often than not. Not today. We have too loaded of a slate, too many games to get through, too many interesting storylines to cover. Adrian, why don't you kick us off into our Week 18 preview? And the first game is a playoff game for one of the teams. The Steelers can put themselves in the position to make the playoffs. Steelers at Ravens. Ravens 4-point home dogs, over under 35.5. Who's got this one?
So I've noticed this, and I didn't say this out loud to you, but I've noticed you like it in chronological order. And me being the scab producer, it starts with you, moves to me, then to Jimmy.
Go. That's a beautiful thing. And we're clockwise too, or is that counter? I don't know. I never.
That's clockwise, yeah.
We're going clockwise.
Good job, Kevin.
Thing.
I know you like it like that.
Hey, God's working on me. So this is a big game, and this game is of particular importance to myself as a Bills fan. Steelers lose this game, punches the Bills ticket to the playoffs. So I'm going to be watching this game closely. I think the key thing is we obviously know the Ravens have sewn up the 1 seed, so we will be seeing a heavy dose of Snoop Huntley. We will be seeing a heavy dose of Melvin Gordon. We will be seeing a heavy dose of X, Y, and Z scab receivers on the Ravens, probably like Devin Duvernay, those kinds of guys. I've seen it happen before, but unfortunately, I'm not too impressed by the scab Ravens starters in this game. I think Mason Rudolph has proven to be legit enough to move the ball on a John Harbaugh defense, regardless of whether or not it's the starters or not, remains to be seen. So it should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. Personally, I'd love to wish cast here and pick the Ravens to win, but I think there'll be plenty of time on the show for wish casting. I'll start out with predicting a close game, a game that the Steelers steal, pun intended or not, depending on if you liked it or not. And I think this
kids loved it.
Kids liked it. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I'll say 20-16.
See, I don't know if I agree completely with your takes because this is the same Ravens that went. What did they go on the preseason? 24-1.
That's true.
And so the last time this happened, which I can't remember the exact year, but with the Ravens, when they bombed out in the playoffs, Snoop Huntley came in 1 week 18, I believe. And I'm sorry to bring up sore points. I believe they did it to your Bills a little while ago with the backups and knocked you out. I'm going back a while. So I actually think
wow, shots fired.
I was gonna say my Bills have been in the playoffs, since I've lived in Los Angeles. I don't know about that one.
I'm talking like over a decade ago, like the last time the Steelers had locked the 1 seed. So the Ravens.
EJ Manuel time.
It might have been. Actually,
my point being is that I think the Ravens are well coached.
Legend.
I think they'll come to play despite the fact that it's their backups. And I think to knock the Steelers out of contention, that's the beauty of like some of these sort of these division games. And I'm coming up to one for my boys. You know that. I think the Ravens are going to take this 22-20.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm on Adrian's side too. I have the Ravens winning 21-20. So I picked a very close score to Adrian. Mason Rudolph, man, he leads the league in passer rating right now. 3 games played. I mean, if you do no qualifications, I mean that's something to think about. But that doesn't matter at this point. I think the Ravens have a lot of playmakers on the second string at least that could beat the Steelers. But the Steelers are -4, and I think the Ravens are +4. Like I think that's a lock. So put that in as the lock of the week. Especially with the divisional rivalry. I mean,
so check this out. I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler for future games. There is only one scenario where the Bills miss the playoffs, and it's with the Steelers losing to the beating the Ravens, the Jaguars beating the Titans, and the Dolphins beating the Bills. I put an emotional hedge parlay down that has like 6x odds.
Oh my gosh.
Money line all the other teams. So that way, if the Bills miss the playoffs, at least I get a little check. At least I get a little bag.
Wow, that's smart.
That's a nice way to do it.
Otherwise, I should put money on the Texans then, right?
Believe it or not, Texans, Colts. Oh, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
No, I can't, dude.
You have to. You gotta throw a 50.
I'm putting some on the Bears. I'm definitely putting something.
It's actually
gotta emotionally hedge. It's important. Okay, Adrian, let's kick it over to our next game.
Before we move on, can I? You know what? It's you guys know when I talk about her a lot that Mrs. Revito kind of plays queen of my opinions of what we do in this show. Yeah, standard, right? And she said to me last week, she goes, "Why do you guys predict the score? You never really go back and review it." So I was like, "Okay, let's. You know what? It's a good point.
Good idea.
I'm glad you think that, Jimmy, because you might not in a second. Because last week's, and I'm sorry to cut you out here, but last week Jimmy took an L while me and Kevin on 12-3 with our predictions for winners.
Dude, those records are nice though.
That's
for
crazy.
Everybody.
Either way.
That's low key crazy. We should start doing
I'm sorry
that,
to call you out, Jimmy.
No, thank you.
Playoff team. I'm a playoff team.
Mrs. Revito, where was that idea 17 weeks ago?
She's just getting the show better and better. We love it.
I love it. I love Mrs.
Next season,
Revito.
we're gonna have to just add it up every week.
Oh, dude,
she's just gonna come and scream in my ear.
Our fearless leader Brian McFadden has a rolling tally on his Twitter, and he loves to brag about his percentage. It's so funny.
I mean,
it's gone down though.
Even if I'm not on
the
show,
it's dropped.
Oh yeah, you know why? Because he keeps picking the Bills. No, I'm just kidding.
Has he still been tweeting it out, or did he stop after?
He's still tweeting it out. He owns it. All right,
it's still a good percentage. Let's get it. All right. So Vikings and Lions. So 2 NFC North. Rivals is hard for me to be excited for any of these. Nick Mullins is starting. Nick Mullins threw for over 400 the last time he played the Lions, but he also threw for 4 interceptions. So it's kind of what you're getting. That's a Nick Mullins experience. It's very Favre-like. It's very Baker-like. Let me think. It's very Sam Howell-like. You're going to get these big games, but you're going to get a lot of interceptions and bad mistakes because he just puts it up for grabs. The Vikings defense has sort of dropped a little bit, as we saw with the Packers last week. So I think the Lions are the one team. So, when the coach is like, oh, no, we're playing our starters because, I want to keep the Lions are the one team that I believe Dan Campbell wants to win. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter whether it's like they had a tough loss last week and prayers up to our producer, Anthony Wayner, because that was a tough loss to bite.
That was hard to watch.
You put yourself in a position where you need a trick play to get the win. Like that doesn't, whenever it comes down to a call at the end of the game like that, I always say like, well, what happened for the other 59 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
Put yourself in that position, right? But Dan Campbell's going to be, his exact words were controlled fury. So they're going to come out fighting. The defense has dropped off for the Vikings. The Vikings, both their tackles are banged up at the moment. Christian Darrisaw's got an illness. Brian O'Neill is listed as questionable, but they haven't specified why. So I would say we'd see them, but they might be a little bit rough. And the Lions still got the 2 seed on the line. If the Cowboys lose and the Lions win, they take the 2 seed. So I think the Lions are going to absolutely roll here. They really just need to contain Justin Jefferson. And when Mullins came on, he got him fired up a little bit against the Packers. So I'm going to say 28-6. I'm going to say a romping because I think the Lions are coming out angry. And I hope we meet them in the first round of the Wild Card.
Wow, you hope you do?
Yeah, I'll take them. Maybe I'd prefer the Eagles, but I don't think the Eagles are going to be there. So take them over the Cowboys.
I got to say, I love the controlled fury bit, man. Dan Campbell had me so fired up when I saw that because he's right. Like, what else are you going to do? Like, okay, the league screwed you. Okay, take it on the chin and come back harder, That's the mentality. That's the kneecap biting mentality where it's not corny and it's not cliche, where it's like he puts his money where his mouth is. His guys are going to be ready. I agree. Jimmy, I'll let you take it away before I spoil my prediction.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Adrian. I feel like Dan Campbell, like he doesn't come out as fake at all. I think he has that controlled fury. I think he has that kind of controlled emotion to where he's emotionally invested in the game like a fan, but he thinks like a coach, and he has the players built around him, and he'll do whatever he says he's going to do. Like he said he was going to go for 2 several times. Like if we're going to try to win this game last week, so it was a shot for him last week, but I have the Lions winning 27-18. I think they're playing for the 2 seed, possible 2 or 3 seed. Vikings have a 3% chance at the playoffs. Nick Bolins, I just don't think the Vikings are on the right path. I think they're going to run into the Lions here.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Roy August. We appreciate you, Roy, giving us a little love on X. Grab the butter. Seahawks are toast this weekend. We'll get to the Seahawks, Roy.
Absolutely.
Stick around and let's chat about how they're going to look. But great analogy though. Love.
Can we steal that? Grab the butter that's gonna make a repeat on here, Roy.
I like it. No, Roy, we applaud. Roy,
I love toast. I love toast.
Toast is fire. I like a little butter, a little jam. That's my go.
Can you say that again, Jimmy?
I said I love butter. Love butter.
I just want none of us talking. So I love toast. That is a sound drop. Thank you.
He's clipping it.
My bad.
Love butter. No, fellas. I'm gonna go with Vikings taking care of business, or Lions taking care of business pretty handily. I'll say 31-17.
Perfect.
In lockstep here.
We're all on the right. Yeah.
All right. Next up is Yimmy's boys.
Oh, come on, Himmy.
Dude, I think I was 10-5 last week because I picked against the Colts.
I told y'all. I was the only one. I was the only one.
And you know what? I think it worked. I think it worked for the Colts. So you know what I'm about to do again, right?
How dare you?
Yeah, you can't.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Reverse
I'm going to do
wish
it. I'm going to do it. It's a reverse wish cast here.
Wow.
And it's also like the realistic fan in me. I think there's a better chance for the Texans to win here. Will the Colts win? Will I be cheering for them? Maybe. I mean, I'm obviously cheering for them, but I think they definitely have a chance to win. But our secondary is tough right now. And I think CJ Stroud is a baller. He's 3rd in the NFL this year in 20-plus yards passes, and the Colts are the 3rd worst in 20-plus yard passes in terms of completion percentage on those throws. So the Texans are a little banged up, so I think that's something that could work in the Colts' favor. Noah Brown, Jonathan Greenard, their sacks leader, they're out. They have a lot of people questionable, including Will Anderson, who's my pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year. They have a lot of rookies that are very good. So I'll go ahead and pick 27-24 Texans. This is my reverse wish cast of the week. So maybe that's my bet. If they win, then at least I get that 1-0 slot next week on the show.
Bro, throw the 50 burger on them, bro. Do it. Put your money where your mouth is.
I got you. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a buy-in for the legit football league. So
right. You guys know I'm super infatuated with the Texans. Their offseason to me was masterful, and I was kind of banging that drum, tooting that horn when it wasn't the most popular horn to toot. You know, people didn't love the trade of their first rounder next year. Why would you trade a top 5 pick? That pick ain't going to be nowhere near the top 5. And D'Amico Ryans made damn sure of it. CJ Stroud made damn sure of it. Their future is looking so bright. I think the future is now. I do, unfortunately, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I was in your corner last week. I did bang the drum for your Colts last week, but I cannot do that this week.
I wasn't even in my corner last week. So
no, 100%. My special boys are on the other side of the 50, the Texans, and I think the Texans are going to take care of business pretty handily. I think we're going to know which team has their backup QB out there, and which team is full of
mean.
stallions.
That was mean.
I think it's going to be Texans. I'll say 24-13.
Can I just say, and this is an early theme for this show, Jimmy, we are very much in lockstep because I agree on Will Anderson defensive rookie of the year. Yeah. I also think D'Amico Ryans is coach of the year. Okay. This has been an amazing season for the Texans. I think they take this one, but the reason I'm saying lockstep is I said 27-24, but the other way around. So I just feel like we're in lockstep. I like it.
I like it, dude. Wait, I have Kevin Stefanski for
other way around, as in you have the Colts winning, or
no? I got the Texans winning.
Jimmy, I have the Texans winning too. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Reverse wishcast. Yeah. Which is fine.
Sorry, I forgot the Colts are your boys. For a second, I thought the Texans were because Kevin's love. You know what? It's early in the morning here. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. It's very early in Australia.
Everybody wondering too. So I'll live stream it.
All right. Hey, this is another one. I don't know if this was planned. Adrian, but this is the other game that directly has to do with my Bills playoff berth. So Jaguars at Titans. Titans are 5.5-point home dogs. The over-under is 40 points, and it's looking pretty likely as though this is going to be the final start of Ryan Tannehill's Titans career, which I think is a pretty massive deal. Ryan Tannehill had a really, really nice stretch with Tennessee. Vrabel's a great coach. I think he's going to have his boys fired up. There's no talks of packing it in for the Titans. They know they can play spoiler for the Jags. Jimmy's Colts or the Texans or my Texans need the Jags to lose this game in order for it to matter in the AFC South, I believe. Is that correct, Jimmy, Mr. Stats?
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, the Jags have to lose this game for Jimmy, and they have to lose this game for my Bills wild card prospects. So the health of Trevor Lawrence is a huge question mark. I'm hearing not looking as sharp as we've seen him. I'm hearing the throws in practice are not looking great. Do we know whether or not he's playing? I would have a
I
hard
think it's still TBD.
Yeah, I think he's believed to be doing.
Yeah, I have a hard
trending
time
in the right direction.
Yeah. So I'm just really hoping Vrabel has his boys fired up. I think the Titans are going to play with a lot of pride. They're very well coached. I think Vrabel, in essence, might be coaching for his future. I think he'll stay. I think he'll stick around. There was an article in Legit Football that he wants to stay, but who knows? I mean,
I think he's done what he can with the Titans.
I think so.
That'd be tough.
I'd hate to see him leave because he's such a good coach and it would be a step back for the organization.
Mm-hmm.
But we all thought that they should have burnt it down this year and they didn't. So personally,
what's the GM situation there?
Yeah, I don't trust him to do the right thing. Regardless, this is one game. I will wish cast here. I wasn't going to on the other game. I think the Jags are unfortunately grab the butter. I think they're toast. We've just seen too much of a meltdown by them to think that you can have any sort of real faith in them going into the final week of the season. I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game. I'll say 24-20.
Yeah, I think you're right about Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry's gone at the end of this year as well. I think this is the year that we all expected them to have last year. Yeah. Which is, you know what? I didn't really think about it till you said something, Kevin. I was like, you remember Ryan Tannehill he grabbed the butter for Tannehill. He was gone after the Dolphins, and then he just kind of revived his career with that late playoff run at the Titans, and he was back to a starter. Yeah,
I think it means something.
That sucks. He'll probably find work elsewhere. He might be a backup, but I think he's probably got a little bit left in the tank. So I will say I think the Jags will win this one, though. I think there's too much on the line, and if Trevor Lawrence is who he, claims to be, we want him competing. Yeah, so I think 24-20 the other way. That's weird because I pre-planned my scores so I could do the producing stuff as well, and we have the exact same score but flipped.
That's insane. I have the Titans winning 17-16. That might be a wish cast on my front as well, but I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to play, but I think either way the Jaguars haven't looked the best. They have a lot of playmakers, but it's been tough for them, so I think they go out with some sad, unfortunate no playoffs situation there, but Titans 17-16.
With the Jacksonville loss, the Bills are in, right? No matter what.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stone. Yeah. Jacksonville loss or Pittsburgh loss or Bills win or Texans Colts tie.
Oh,
that one I'm not so confident in. Armand, welcome in, man. We missed you. Sorry about the trash weather.
I can't assimilate. It's so beautiful where I am.
Yeah, Adrian's going to the beach after this.
I am.
He's got his little beach chair and his little bag, a little volleyball.
What the heck?
I actually have my little Packers gridiron ball, which I bring to the beach every time. Anyway, I digress.
That's so fun.
Falcons and Saints. This is not intentional, but I tend to get the Falcons every week somehow.
Because they're your special boys.
They were. Don't disown them. They're at the orphanage now. They're gone. I was like, I can't do this anymore. They're too much.
They're with McFadden for the weekend.
Yeah, their other parent. So look, all right, let's talk about the Saints first. So Derek Carr obviously is playing better. The discourse I think is still there. I still think Saints fans want him out, but here's how I see this season playing out. Bar a blow-off loss here to either team. I think Dennis Allen will be back, which he shouldn't be. I think Arthur Smith will be back, which he shouldn't be. And I think Derek Carr will be back, which, Kevin, you think you'll like this? I think he should be. But the only thing I will say is if there is a blowout loss here, if the Saints or the Falcons just romp and knock the other team out of contention, That's got now. I know Arthur Smith has been told. Arthur Blank said Smith is safe, but I think if there's a blowout, sorry, it's done. So, and I don't think Arthur Smith should be back. I don't think he's played what any of us would consider good coaching. So both teams have a playoff path with some help. None have their own kind of destiny in hand. I will say the Saints will win this, which I don't want them to, but I will say they win this 27-23.
I have these are kind of it's the battle of two teams that I haven't really been high on this whole season. And I listened to a podcast, Pardon My Take, and they say whoever wins the NFC South, that's the only coach that's going to stay after this season. I think which is a joke in some instances, but it's like it kind of makes sense. I feel like every coach could be on the hot seat, but if you win the division, it's like it's hard to get rid of you. But in this division, like anything's possible. But I do have the Saints. I think the Saints kind of have the hot hand here, so I think they're going to win 24-21.
I'm glad to see we've seen the error of our ways on Derek Carr. I think he's so underrated, and he'll always be. He's sort of like, I think he's the next generation's Kirk Cousins. He'll always be panned and marred, and just people will say he's not that guy, and he's not, because there's only 3 or 4 of that guy in the league. But he's the next that guy. Like, he's the next best thing. Like, if you don't have a Josh Allen, a Pat Mahomes, for the lack of a better term, I'll say Lamar, Tua, whatever. If you don't have one of those guys, you want a Derek Carr. You want a Kirk Cousins. You want somebody who's going to keep you competitive, give you a fighting shot to make the dance. And then you want to surround them with good enough weapons and good enough defense that it won't matter. And unfortunately, the Saints, I don't think, have that. I think they have enough to take care of the Falcons, because their Falcons are absolute frauds. And I will actually probably have a small gathering at my house when Arthur Smith gets fired. Just because of like fantasy, I love fantasy football so much, and he makes fantasy football so much less fun. Because Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitts and all the studs, they deserve to be free and they deserve to be happy. And Arthur Smith doesn't want that.
I will just say, as a Colts fan, having like old quarterbacks and stuff, it's kind of tough. So if you're in a position to get a young quarterback, I think that's kind of better than
it's for sure better
Derek Carr or something. But that's also very hard to get to. And
right,
it could be worse.
Yeah, but it's for sure better. I mean, if I'm the Saints, I'm knocking down the Bears' door about Justin Fields. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
But I think the Saints
or the Falcons too. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Or and then there's Russell Wilson. He's going to be a free agent. There's a lot of the court. I told everybody this last year, and we're almost full circle on my first full year of covering the NFL. Quarterback carousel might be my favorite thing about the offseason. It's definitely better than the coaching carousel. It's more fun. It's more lighthearted.
Every year, man, it's like 30-40% of the league.
So
switches around.
That being said, I think the Saints are going to handle business in this game. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think, spoiler alert, I think this is Baker's division, but I think the Saints are going to win this game. I'll say 27 to I'll say 13. I think Arthur's going to go out with a dud.
So the next game, and we talked about this pre-show just before you joined, Kevin, there's 3 games on this slate which have no playoff implications. So we've just self-designated dynamite games.
Yeah, 3 dynamite games. Let's go.
Jimmy, you're up.
And wait, am I doing the whole thing? I'll just do.
Jimmy is the dynamite.
All right, so it's a battle of the draft picks here. Jets, Patriots, Trevor Siemian versus Bailey Zappi. I think Breece Hall breaks off. Or I think it hadn't even started yet.
You're good.
All right, so Breece Hall, I think, breaks off a big run here, scores a touchdown. The Patriots quarterbacks have been absolute booty cheeks, I guess, if I'm allowed to say on this podcast. Put that in the sound bites, dude.
Censor that.
Censor
children.
That.
I need to timestamp this.
We need a delay. 13-7 Jets. But that'll break a record. Pats have won 15 straight against the Jets. So I think that ends this week.
13-7 Jets, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's so flagrant. Adrian, do you want to go off?
I think it's fair.
I was just going to say, I'd say 14-13 Jets. I think the under, which is the lowest closing under of the season, doesn't surprise me. As Jimmy said, Jets lost 15 straight. I think they'll win the first one, but it's going to be a terrible game.
I'm doing this for Armand. I'm sure he wants the Jets to lose. I think you're going to get your wish, buddy. I watched the Patriots in person last week give Buffalo all they could handle. I think Bailey Zappi is playing his way into the backup job in New England next year. And I think the Patriots are going to win this game. I'll say 24-16.
Can I say one more
Ooh,
thing over the
Jimmy
pieces?
Adrian.
Boo,
My
Jimmy
last
and
thing over the
Adrian.
Boo, you,
I told
Armand.
you.
Come on
I
now.
knew he wanted his team to lose. I knew it. He's a
Armand,
smart man.
explain. Agree with me on this. I think everyone on this pod can agree. There would be nothing more Jetsy than in the final game of the season, winning and moving from the 8 pick to the 12 pick, because that's
Oh,
what's on
how
the line
bad
now.
would that be? For how horrible their season was? Could you imagine if they had the 12th pick?
That is the most Jetsy thing I could think that could ever happen.
I would go to whatever the hell in Jersey. I'd go to the Meadowlands and I'd freaking knock down Joe Douglas's door and give him a piece of my mind.
His door's got to be like, it's got to be like iron reinforced at this point.
Oh, 100%. But there's the Jets, and honestly, the Patriots should feel the same way. The Patriots shouldn't want to win this game either, but I think they will. I'm telling you, I watched the game. They're plucky, man. The Patriots are plucky. They've earned that status.
Let's all agree, though. GMs tank and players do not tank.
But you guys are saying you agree or you don't agree?
Disagree with the plucky,
bro.
I wouldn't call it plucky.
Sorry,
you're wilding, bro. They knocked the Broncos out of the playoffs. Who else did they beat? They beat the Steelers.
The Jets beat the Eagles, right?
They've deserved plucky status.
I don't think even in those wins, you can't say that they looked good. They weren't plucky. The Cardinals are plucky.
Not even, well, yeah, they are now. Actually, they've re-earned their plucky status. Plucky. Wow. All right. Next Dynamite game.
No, this has implications.
Oh, okay. So no. Okay.
Unless you want it
throughout the rest of the time.
No, who has this one? Oh, is this me?
This is you.
Oh, let's go. Sweet. Okay, Buccaneers at Panthers. Panthers are 4.5-point home dogs. They over-under is 37, and I think I spoiled this earlier. I think Baker is going to take care of business here. I believe Buccaneers punched their ticket with a win. Correct, Jimmy?
Correct. Yeah, if the Bucs lose, then it's the Falcons and Saints that decide the.
And I will eat all the crow. Please give me a crow drop because I didn't have the most love or most nice things to say about prior to the season, and I think he's proven to be better than we all thought he was. And Bruce Arians said, I like him better than all the quarterbacks in this class, and he might not have been blowing smoke. Like clearly Baker's got something going on. I heard something on, I believe it was the Fantasy Footballers DFS podcast. I want to give credit where it's due. They talked about Baker's incentives for if he finishes the top 5 in the NFC in the major statistical categories, he gets a fat bag. So I think Baker's going to be motivated to have a good statistical output as well, because he's very close to top 5 in the NFC in all those categories at the moment. And I'm looking for, I'll say Buccaneers 34, Panthers, I'll say 14.
Yeah, no one's been bigger on Baker Mayfield, I don't think, on this podcast than me. You know, I love the dude. Wrote an article about him at the start of the season, just for reasons as to why you want Baker to do well, and I stick by it, despite them him coming to Lambeau and posting a perfect passer rating. So I will say the Buccaneers absolutely clean up here, and it would be, they're doing this to clinch us out against the Panthers, against Gift Smith. Is it Gift Smith? Is that it?
No, that's the Chargers.
Sorry, that's the Chargers. Either way, to my point, you should be winning this game 26-7.
Yeah.
31-13 Bucks. Baker Mayfield, comeback player of the year candidate. I don't think he's going to win, but I think he's
DeMar Hamlin, baby.
Oh, Joe Flacco is what you mean, right?
You'll never take DeMar off.
You say Joe Flacco. Yeah, I know.
You'll never take DeMar.
Yeah. Can we have 3 winners?
I'm down.
Okay, 3 winners.
3 winners because DeMar Hamlin is 3 winners.
I love that. And then name the award after him. DeMar Hamlin comeback player.
Dude, seriously. Seriously, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bryce Young's not cooked. Give him a chance. Everybody thought the same thing about Trevor Lawrence after his rookie year.
His team is doo-doo.
Everybody's always going to pile on the rookie quarterback that doesn't perform. They've screwed up by giving up so much.
Yeah,
to get him. He maybe wasn't worth that haul, and they might have set their team back a couple years. But
5 years on a rookie deal. I mean,
give him time.
4 years, and then
Bryce Young will. I'm confident he'll figure it out. He's a good player. He's lost right now.
New coach next year too.
There we go, baby.
All right. Now I'm going to do my best.
Just kidding.
There's 2 games I think this slate that have the most implications franchise playoff season wise, and it's this and it's Kevin's Bills. So, I'll start with the Bears. The Bears have been playing great lately. In fact, since week 11, their defense has been in the top 5. Um, since over the last 3 weeks, I believe their offense is in the top 3. Now, I hate those stats where it's like 3 weeks or 2, like because it could be a blip, depends on opponents. But the Bears are playing fantastic. Justin Fields is playing himself into potentially keeping the job, and I think he's playing this game for his job. I don't know if you guys agree.
Uh,
Not to the extreme degree you're pitching, but I think there's a
yeah, it's never that
component of that.
extreme, but
There's a
I think,
component of that.
yeah, how you end the season is huge.
Yeah, I agree, and I think what I do think is this: if he goes into Lambeau Field and knocks a division rival, the Packers, out of the playoffs, similar to where the Lions did last year, because this has sneaky 2022 feels. I think Justin Fields is back next year. If he gets blown out or even loses, like doesn't remain competitive, I think he's somewhere else next year. Because unfortunately, recency bias is a real thing. The fans are a real thing, and if the fans love Justin Fields, it will be hard to move on from him. Not to say impossible. So I think Montez Sweat, I say it every week, I feel like a parrot and just repeating myself. He makes such a big difference for the Bears, and it scares me a little bit here. Eberflus has sort of got that defense running now to where you expected him to get it. So I think they're in a good position to win this. I say that with much trepidation in my voice. The Packers are playing better than the offense is playing as good as any offense at this point, and I wouldn't put the offense out of any game at the moment. However, Joe Barry, I understand he did great last week. I get that, but let's just relax on the Joe Barry staying around. Get the butter for Joe Barry at this point. And if he loses this game, he's gone on Monday. I'm telling you. So I think the Packers they're getting most of their players back, or they're at least they're questionable but expected. Talking about Reed, Watson, Jair Alexander's coming back. AJ Dillon's been out with a stinger. But Jones is, and again, it's another last 2 week stats, number 1 rusher over the past 2 weeks. So I think the Packers take care of business here. They punch their playoff tickets, and everyone hates them for getting a third long-term quarterback in a row, 33-23.
33-23. I liked all of the things you said, Adrian. I do. I thought you were going to go with the Bears there. I was, yeah.
Can't do it.
I genuinely thought you were going to go with the Bears there because it would have made me feel better because I am going with the Bears here. I think everything you said. I think their defense is rolling. I think Justin.
We have a real problem between two co-hosts right now, guys. If I could stand between you, I would. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Adrian, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Let's start with that one.
Scared for Jimmy's safety.
Yeah, I think Justin Fields controls the ball on the offensive side of the ball against the Packers defense. And I think Montez Sweat maybe gets a couple sacks. I do think it'll be a high-scoring game. But I think the Bears take this one in a close one. I think it'll be like 30-27.
Wow.
So,
I'm okay with it because you guys rolled on the Packers on those shows when I wasn't here. Don't think I wasn't listening. And we won some.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's going to be a great game. I'm excited for it.
I think
Love you,
I think give Jimmy picks the over, first of all. He says smash the over. That's 13 points. There's some wiggle room there. Our degenerate listeners, you know what to do. I hope you're already on your way to Vegas with a big bag of money.
Don't blame me
if you throw the over on Bears Packers.
Don't put it on me.
I think there's a lot of truth to what you both said, and I think that sort of represents this awesome tilt. Can I get a reminder what the Bears need to sneak into the playoffs, Jimmy? Do you have they're mathematically eliminated?
Pretty sure, right? Yeah,
I think they are. I think I was thinking of the Vikings.
Yeah,
the Vikings are the ones with the really small chance.
3%. Yeah,
not the Bears. Okay,
Bears need to go back in time.
So we had the fans chanting, "We want Fields," which was pretty cool to watch. I've always been a tentative believer in Fields because of his tools. You guys know I'm a huge believer in traits. I would much rather take a chance on a traitsy guy than a heady guy. I think traits translate if you can get them to put it together. I think it's easier to put it together mentally than it is to put it together physically. So Fields is a very interesting domino that has to fall in the quarterback carousel, whether or not that's staying in his own backyard, them trading down to 3 and grabbing Marvin Harrison Jr., which I think I wouldn't recommend it. I think I lean the trade Fields because the reset of the quarterback rookie contract is just so valuable in building a team in today's NFL. I'm getting ahead of myself. We have a game to get played here. I'm with Adrian on this one. I don't think after seeing how the Packers performed last week, they absolutely dismantled the Vikings. Had I played Jordan Love and Jaden Reed in my fantasy football championship, I would have won. I did not, and I took a fat L. Thank you, Gabe Davis, 2.1 points. Appreciate you for that.
The sad music came on. Yeah.
Yep. But Packers are going to win this one, I think, pretty decisively. I think the Bears have definitely put it together, definitely promising, but a little bit of fool's gold. I'm going to say Packers take care of business here. I'll say 31 to, I'll say 21.
Love it.
All right, so
All right.
only one on the Bears here.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why you're 10. That's
How
why you're
it
10
is.
and 5, Jimmy. That's why we're.
And next week I'm going to be 16 and 0.
Oh, I can't wait. I think you might.
14 and 2.
Let's go.
Browns
Who's
and Bengals,
next?
another one. This is
There we
Jimmy.
go. Fire this one into the sun.
Yeah, give it a second. Set the timer first.
Bang.
Joe Flacco is a baller, but he's out. He's being rested. Who would have thought Joe Flacco would be rested in a
Getting
Week
that
18
rest.
game with the Browns?
I love it.
Man, I think the Bengals win 23-20. There's not much to really say here. Jeff Driscoll's playing for the Browns, so I think the Bengals have a little more to play for, maybe just because they have players that are looking to play into the offseason here. And the Bengals need something going into the offseason because they're a team with high expectations. And now they're missing out on the playoffs and in a year that they need. I mean, obviously the quarterback got injured, but they need to make the playoffs, and they only have a certain amount of time to do so. And I only have a certain amount of time to do this. So, what do you guys have to say?
Couldn't agree more. I think Browning's going to have a nice game. I think he's going to play into a backup job. I don't think Jamar Chase plays, but I don't think it matters. I think the Bengals take care of business pretty decisively. They go out on a high note after a really tough season, a really unfortunate, marred by injury season. They were my Super Bowl pick. Bengals are going to win this one. I'll say 20-10.
I won't add. Sorry, Jimmy, what was your score?
23-20 Bengals.
So
I have the over.
I'm jumping on the Browns. That's why Kevin Stefanski's coach of the year, potentially. That's why he's won with 4 different quarterbacks, 25-24.
Coach, I like it.
Bengals -7. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Are we strapping it up, or are we talking about this one straight?
It's still got implications.
Okay.
So Cowboys can lose the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys are at the Commanders. The Commanders are 13-point home dogs. Over under is 46. I would have dynamited this one. I know there's implications, but I don't really think that
You want it?
No, it's fine. I'll just
I'll give it to you if you want it.
I'll power through.
Strap them up.
I think the Commanders are going to go out with a whimper as well. I think Ron Rivera is the most likely coach to get fired. I would be surprised if they let him drive home and then have to come back the next day to pack his stuff up. They might just Sunday night after the game say, why don't you go ahead and put your stuff in some boxes. Great guy. Seems like a good defensive mind, right? I think he'll stick somewhere. I think
As
the
a head
enemy's
coach?
got to. No, I don't think so. I don't think again.
DC maybe.
Yeah, I think DC. I think he's I think the Commanders are going to go out with a whimper. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I'll say because it matters to them. I'll say 13.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does matter. I think the Cowboys need this quite desperately, to be honest with you, because we all know their record at home and their record away. If their playoff journey runs through away games, I mean, I'm not going to say they're out, but I'm going to say that puts them in a significantly worse position. They know it, but they can say all they want that they don't believe in, this, that, and the other. That's the storyline for a reason. So I think the Cowboys take this one 30-16. I think you're absolutely right. I think Ron Rivera is gone before Monday morning. Before we log onto our computers Monday morning, there's an announcement of Ron Rivera.
Yeah, on the West Coast, I'm going to wake up to that news, I think.
Yeah, I'll be waking up just expecting that news any second on Monday too. So I agree with you guys. I think it'll be 34-10 Cowboys. Ron Rivera is going out respectfully at the end of the season. Cowboys gonna have a chance. They need this for the home playoff advantage, especially with the Eagles kind of going downhill. They need to take advantage of that and not lose the 2 seed because 2 versus 5 seed is crazy.
Absolutely sputtering. They're sputtering. Yeah. They remind me of the Cardinals a couple years back. Remember that? They were like 11-0. Then they just lost like
the Steelers.
Yeah.
Did they make the
Steelers
playoffs that
did
year
that.
though?
They,
Cardinals were out, weren't
I
they?
don't remember.
Sunday
Very
night.
insightful comment from my pops, Buffalo. Thank you, Dad.
Buffalo's winning
We
this
need-
game.
We needed that. We needed
I love it. Rivera gets fired Saturday night. Yeah, there's no chance he doesn't. All right, boys. Who's that? Adrian, you're up.
I am up, and I'm up with another of our last of the Dynamite games.
Bang it
actually,
out.
we do have a few people watching. So if you don't know what a Dynamite game is, we give ourselves a minute to talk about the game because it sucks so much, and then we blow it to pieces, and we never want to see it ever again.
Yeah, we
sweep
pretended it didn't happen.
the little,
Fun
you know,
time.
Oh, he's saying Rivera to Buffalo for defensive coordinator. I like that. Him and McDermott.
I'd take him in
have
Green
ties.
Bay.
Yeah,
I'd take him in Green Bay.
that's an interesting idea. I'm down.
All right, hold on a sec, and let's put the Dynamite on this game
it
because
was
the
the
Broncos and
Cardinals
Raiders.
got whacked by the Rams first round. Yep.
So this is going to be a rough game. I'll give it a second till the time is 60 seconds.
The Stidham Bowl.
All right. So just like the Browns and Bengals, and this is a coach off, I think the only thing that matters about this game to anyone in any building is Antonio Pierce. I think this game matters to him. I think while the owner has talked about taking a big swing, I think if Antonio Pierce can come out and absolutely blow the doors off, like they've been doing, they've been playing really, really well, and he should get some looks as a head coach, or to remain head coach and to rip that interim title right off him. They've performed really well since he took over. So I think they're playing for pride. He's going to have the players fired up, and I think they're going to do quite well. AOC back next year, I think so. Like, I mean, he's played well enough, I suppose, but he's also probably not the guy. He's not the guy all caps. He's the guy lowercase. Sean Payton does not care about this game. He's not going anywhere. Russell Wilson is gone. All that matters is the draft pick. So I think I'm taking all the time. I think they lose this. I think the Raiders win 23-17.
Raiders are more motivated. I'll go 2014 Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders 23 to 10.
Oh, Kevin's blown up every time so far.
I know.
Poor guy.
I've been
That was my
lingering.
fault.
No,
That was my fault.
It's our fault.
I
It's
know
our
the
fault,
rules,
man.
Adrian.
It's like hot potato. We're just trying to see what it lands
Don't make
on.
excuses for me. All right. Is this Himmy?
It's Timmy.
That's Himmy.
Take it away.
Eagles, Giants. I mean, I think this is like the Cowboys Commanders game. it's so hard to pick the Eagles, but I still feel like I'm on the Eagles. They're one of the first one of three teams to start 10-1 and lose 4 of their next 5. The other 2 teams, 1986 Jets, I think, and then the 2020 Steelers, lost in the wild card and the divisional, respectively. So if the Eagles somehow only make it 1 or 2 rounds into the playoffs, that'll be a huge, big, blown chance for the Eagles. They've been absolutely atrocious, but I do think the Eagles come back. I think they still have a lot of players. I'm just gonna ride the Eagles for now too. I think it'll be 30-13.
Yeah, I like it. I temperature check on Dable. We think Dable keeps his job.
I think he should,
I
but
think he should too, given the injuries. I mean,
there was a news source, or like Josina Anderson said, this might be a surprise firing in the NFC East, other than Ron Rivera. Like a couple,
They can get out of. Can they get out of Jones's contract? They can.
I heard that was looking like. Oh, I don't know. I think Jones' contract might be pretty messed up. But I think this surprise firing could be my buddy Sirianni.
Mike McCarthy. Oh, Sirianni.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sirianni too. I mean,
I think
I could
Sirianni's
see
in the hot
Sirianni.
seat.
maybe it's some defense coordinator.
This game is a dud. Could have been a dynamite game had it not been for the Eagles. I think the Eagles will have a get right game. I think Tyrod will make it close though, because it's what he does. He's plucky, bro. I love Tyrod Taylor. I almost didn't love him when I almost watched him beat my Bills a couple months back on Sunday Night Football in person. I do think he'll take care of business here, and I think the Eagles, will take care of business here. But Tyrod will make it close and make it fun. I think it'll be let's say 28-24.
Did you say 4 of the
That's
last
close.
5 losses, Jimmy? 4 of the last 5?
Yeah, for the last 5.
Don't you mean 5 of the last 6? Oh wait, that's the future.
Oh.
Giants are winning this 21-20.
Whoa!
Upset special.
Oh no.
You just pulled me
Upset
into that
special.
one, man. That was good.
Hey, and you know what, guys? For whatever it's worth, that one that we're talking, the one qualifying one in there is the one where they did lose to the Bills, and AJ Brown fumbled in overtime, and the refs didn't rule it that way, and Josh Allen got called for intentional grounding when he was horse collared. The Bills,
Hold on a second.
Bills,
Where's the victory
Bills
lap?
far outplayed the Eagles in that game.
Victory lap.
But yeah, what's that? I can't even.
That's the victory lap button.
Yeah, little victory left for me. What we got? Who's next?
This is you next. Is this a pluck off?
That's a pluck off. It's a pluck off.
It.
Seahawks at Cardinals. We already have Roy August's prediction of the Seahawks being burnt toast, with a little bit of blueberry jam, a little bit of orange juice. I think the Seahawks are going to handle business. I know the Cardinals are very plucky, and they've had 2 different iterations of pluck this year. I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think Geno's going to take care of business, move the ball, and I think the Seahawks are dangerously close to punching their ticket. Adrian, do you need them to lose to make the playoffs as a Packers fan, or
we're winning in? But if the Seahawks lose, so just this is where my wish casting will come. Minnesota Seahawks lose, and then Tampa Bay or New Orleans lose, and we're in either way.
You're still in. Okay. I'm gonna go with Seahawks here. I think it's gonna be a not entertaining game. I'm gonna say 27-17.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think I lie. I'm not with you on this one. I think the Cardinals.
Whoa!
But they're plucky as hell. I don't know.
Wow.
It's coming.
I can't believe it.
Thanks, kids. So I think I just recorded some randoms out in the neighborhood. I think the Cardinals win this 26-20. I think Vico Ryans still wants that coach of the year, even though Stefanski's probably going to take it. So I think the Cardinals take this, and I'm wish casting here because I want them to take this 26-20.
Kyler Murray, James Conner. I think the Cardinals are more pluckable. that's a word I haven't used before. 30-21 Cardinals. Give them some points.
All right, Age. Who's up?
All right, now this could technically have been a dynamite game, but it's not because the Rams can go drop to the 7. So I'm going to talk about it for a second.
Yeah.
But it's not going to take me long. So it is a team of backups here. Shanahan has said besides Brock Purdy and McCaffrey, who are a little bit banged up, I believe, so giving them time to rest. Everyone else will be at least starting for some of the game. So I think that matters. I think Sean McVay has historically lost to Shanahan in any coach off, which I feel like any backup versus backup is a coach off. So I really do think that the 49ers will take this. The Carson Wentz is starting. Gross. Kyron Williams is out. Gross. Puka Nacua will be in until he gets the rookie record, which I believe he will. I think he's 19 yards off. Jimmy, you'll probably know this better than me. I think he's 19
might be closer to 30.
And 4 catches off the catch. I think it is to beat Jalen Waddle's catches or receptions by a rookie. So I think Nacua will have a good game until he's off the field. But I think the 49ers will win this just from coaching standpoint. I don't think Shanahan loses to McVay very often, particularly when Carson Wentz is starting. Sam Darnold is taking the starter reps, and Sam Darnold could do okay. So I say 24-18.
Yeah, I'm not picking Carson Wentz after what they did after what he did to us a couple years ago. I'm not putting that, especially with what the situation is for the Colts right now. It just feels like a bad omen. So I'll go ahead and go 49ers 27-21.
You know what, Jimmy? I think Carson Wentz as a Colt was the last time the Bills lost a game by 2 scores. I don't know if you remember that game. McKenzie fumbled a kickoff in the first half. I think Buffalo lost. Jonathan Taylor, I think, had 5 touchdowns.
On time.
Buffalo.
That was before the tragic collapse. Yeah.
20. Yeah. So
those days.
You dog Carson Wentz, and I remember him being a menace. I remember him.
Yeah. So we have different. Yeah. You must have missed the last 2 games of that season.
I think the 49ers depth is stronger, and I think the 49ers will win. I think Wentz will be pluckier than we think. I think he'll have some flashes. He'll have some remember this guy moments. I'm gonna go with 49ers in this one. I'll say 28-22.
Love it.
All right. We're nearly there, boys.
Nearly there.
You're up.
So yeah, I think the situation here, the Chiefs. I mean, is this pretty much a dynamite game, or is there are there some?
So you know what? You're right.
Fire it up,
right?
Because the Chiefs are stuck at the 3 seed, right? Or no?
Yeah,
let's do it.
They are.
This is a record. 4 dynamite games in a day.
Strap them up, boys.
I want 10 seconds on this. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I won't take up that much time. It's Blaine Gabbert versus Easton Stick. I think it'll be a 17-12 game. I will pick the Chargers here. There's not much to say here, but I will say over the course of the season, the Chiefs are 5th worst in second half points per game this season. So going into the playoffs, that's something they need to fix because they're not in the right group of teams at that point. The top 5 teams are really good in second half points per game. Chiefs are not. But I'm going with the Chargers. Why not?
Yeah, I think the Chargers are going to win. I'm sorry, I'll take my union mandated 20 seconds. I think the Chargers are going to win this game.
Don't blow up.
I think the Chargers are going to win this game. Easton Stick has juice. Again, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. He's plucky as hell. Eckler's got a lot to prove. Chiefs have a strong defense, so I think that will matter. I think it's going to be the grossest game of the week. I'll say 16-13.
Exactly the score I had, except the other way. I think Chiefs win this, but I will say this: I don't think I'm not laying flowers on the Chiefs' dynasty grave, but I do think they're just another team now.
I love it. I love it.
Real quick on the
Kev
Ashes.
didn't blow up.
He timed that out well to make me last. I don't think
hot potato.
I will just say this, like, because it's not about the game, it's about the Chiefs specifically. There was a time where the Chiefs were like, well, they got Patrick Mahomes, so they're going to be fine. I don't feel that way. They're obviously better with Patrick Mahomes than anyone else, but I don't feel that way these playoffs, and I do think the Chiefs are going home early.
Yeah, it's the least confident I've been in the Chiefs since they got Patrick Mahomes.
I want
them
to
the playoffs.
I'm on the record. I want them in the playoffs. I want Buffalo to play Kansas City, hopefully in Buffalo.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. And then our last game is getting the fireball drop because this is huge.
I'm more nervous to talk about it with you guys or to watch it. In both cases, I'm sweating bullets, you guys. So my Buffalo Bills are heading to South Beach to take on the 3-point home underdog Miami Dolphins in an over-under of 49.5. Yowza. This is for the division. Winner takes the AFC East. Dolphins will claim a wild card if they lose. Buffalo needs 1 of 2 games to go their way prior to have a playoff spot locked up prior to kickoff. I'm a little surprised the NFL didn't make this the first Saturday night game, given that they could have framed it as the battle for the division. If the Bills have the playoffs clinched by kickoff, I will be sweating significantly less. I'm guessing they're probably hoping that the Bills don't have the playoffs clinched before, because I don't know, Jimmy, this is an NFL stat question, but I don't know if in NFL history there's ever been a range of outcomes as wide as win and get the 2 seed, lose and miss the playoffs. I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but let's go ahead and say that's never happened before. Someone prove us wrong.
It feels so remarkable and volatile, and Big Cat of Pardon My Take says it is the most 2023 Bills scenario possible, given how all or nothing the team's been all season. I think this game's going to come down to, can the passing attack for Buffalo course correct? Because they've been hard to watch in recent weeks. I was watching the last 2 games in person, and I was very frustrated by some of the things that I saw. The rushing attack hasn't been as special as it looked like it was going to be against the Cowboys and against the Jets. So I'm a little more hesitant to get super bought into this Bills offense and them being championship caliber. However, Joe Brady is, I want to say 5-1, maybe 4-1 as a coordinator since taking over. The Dorsey firing clearly worked. Appreciate you, Roy. You're the GOAT. You're a new listener, a new commenter, but we're happy to have you. We hope you're back every Friday for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna say I think Bills passing attack course correcting. I think the Bills defense got a little healthier. Daquan Jones is back. Adrian, can we talk about Rasul Douglas and just how unbelievable it is that the Bills picked him up for a 3rd-round pick? I feel so blessed. I'm thinking about getting his jersey. I'm thinking about going.
I saw your Twitter.
Do it.
I think him and Ed Oliver are my last 2. It's a coin flip for me at this point.
Do you have bad jersey luck? Maybe don't. Do you have bad jersey luck?
I got Josh, Steph, Greg Rousseau. I have fine jersey luck, I would say. Yeah, I'm a coin flip, honestly, and I think Miami's health problems are going to be too much for them to overcome. I think the lights are going to be too bright. I've seen this team kind of come up small in games like this in the past. I think Buffalo's going to win this game. No wish cast, actually. I objectively think Buffalo's going to win this game. I mean, obviously it's a wish cast because I want it to happen, but I'm also not. This is what I think was going to happen. I think the Bills are going to win this game. I'll say 38-31.
Can I monologue on the Dolphins for a second? Because I said to you last week, Dolphins. I said to you last week, I said, be competitive if you want this narrative to go away. What do? You get a 50 burger laid on you by the Ravens. You don't have Waddle back, or unlikely. He's trending in the wrong way for this game. I know
Howard's
Mike
out.
McDaniel's in. Don't have Mike
Missing
McDaniel. Sorry,
line.
Bradley Chubb is gone, which is what made your defense any good.
In
So,
garbage
sorry,
time.
Dolphins. Yeah, correct. Like, and I love. That was the
It
point I was about
hurts.
to make. Mike McDaniel's is a good coach. He stopped a field goal to get the highest points because, like, well, what's best for the team? Why is Chubb playing since he's the linchpin of your defense at that point? So, sorry, Dolphins, you are losing this, and it matters a lot because I think, and I don't want to put this out in the universe, Kevin. So I'm sorry, but I have to say it because I'm an analyst first. If the Bills were to lose this game and miss the playoffs, there's a good chance Sean McDermott's not there next year. There's a good chance Stephon Diggs is not there next year. Medium chance? No, you don't agree with me?
I disagree. McDermott, he's got a 5-year contract. They're opening a new stadium in a couple years. He's so closely tied with the organization, and he's not really the problem this year. I mean, you can't really control injuries. You can't really control. He's not the offense coordinator. The offense has been really the bigger letdown, in my opinion. I don't. And Diggs' contract is immovable. There's nothing you can do to get out of it.
Oh, see, I thought he'd be out.
He's either on the Bills or he's retiring.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, then I'll eat some crow on those takes, but I'm going to stand by him just a little bit. Just like I'll hold on to it in case it happens, and then I'll bring this back to a video. So I think the Bills absolutely tear this one down. I think they're going to win 30-17, but I think I'm going to say 10 of those points for the Dolphins come in garbage time.
I like it. 30-7 in meaningful football.
You're not going to be sweating at all. This is going to be one of those games where you just like chilling.
I'll take it. I could use. I've been sweating all season. These Bills are the cardiac kids. There's really no other word for them.
Like, you can enjoy the progressive ads in the break because you don't have to worry. That's what it's going to be like.
Oh, yeah. I'll take it.
Stop people becoming their parents. I get it.
As an objective fan of this game, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it's a good game to make us sweat. Sorry, Kevin, but I don't think you're going to have to worry about Doug McDermott and his fun digs coming back, because I think you guys do win this game, and I think you guys do make the playoffs. 2 seed, I'm not too sure about that, but I think it'd be 34-24 Bills. I think the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb, Xavier Howard's out. Eli Apple's going to be playing. I think Stephon Diggs might have another game, maybe finally get like over 75 yards, maybe 100 yards, maybe. But yeah, Rasul Douglas, I posted about him the other day. He's just been phenomenal for the Bills. He has 4 interceptions in 8 games. He's allowing like 50%, 50 pounds. He's balling out. So
can't believe you let him go, Adrian. I cannot believe it.
It was my call.
It's
personally my call.
I can't believe you were happy about it. You did a little victory dance on the podcast.
So I had people over.
I never wanted them.
Nachos.
We've all been there, man. We've all had wrong emotions.
Adrian was depressed when the Packers traded Rasul Douglas.
That was a terrible.
We now know why. I can't fet. He's CB1. I don't care. Like, I love Trey White.
I thought the season was over.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, it made sense at the time, and they got a nice little chunk of change. I'll say this, Jimmy. If the Bills do win this game, they're the 2 seed regardless.
Okay.
Winner of the East is going to be the 2 seed.
That's insane.
Because of the record.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because the Chiefs and
the winners of the West and the South are.
Yeah, because the Chiefs and Colts will be on there. Absolutely.
So the volatility of this range of outcomes is just sickening. It's actually nauseating for me. I like I said, thinking about it, talking about it is just as bad as the idea of.
You're gonna have a stress ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I could get like a sedative or something, if I could go to like be put to sleep and then woken up after kickoff and they can tell me what happens, because it's gonna be stressful. But I think it's gonna be.
You want to watch it, don't
I
lie.
do, and I think it's gonna be fun.
Come on.
Josh Allen historically owns the Dolphins. Fingers crossed that continues. But we did it. Adrian's got to get out of here. It's hard out time. So thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, listeners. Roy, Armand. I believe we had Oscar in the chat. PK Martini in the chat. Go Colts, go Bills, go Packers. Boys, anything you want to say before we wrap this sucker up?
It's been a fun regular season, man.
It has.
Subscribe to Legit Football, follow NFL Stats. Join us next week as we break down what happened in the playoffs. Oh, look at that, man. Let's go.
That's amazing.
It's been a really, really fun and blessed regular season. I wouldn't want to chop it up. Hey, I wouldn't
2007 Colts roster.
I figured it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to chop it up with anybody else about football for 18 weeks. We might have a surprise guest on next week's show. I'm not even going to tease it. I'll let you guys see if the cards fall the right way, that they'll be here next week. But this has been the Legit Football NFL podcast. Adrian Revito, you ready to cue me off?
Yes.
We are